from Spain, a mother and father and their 3 children. Again, no one survived this. The chilling scene in the waters of the Hudson. The crash happened in the part of the river between Lower Manhattan and Jersey City in New Jersey. Video showing the helicopter spinning and flipping upside down. You can see it's just the fuselage there. The bulk of the helicopter, the rotor blade, appears to come apart from the rest of the aircraft before the crash into the river. Witnesses could see the chopper breaking apart as it was going down, the rotor spinning as it falls, splashing into the water following the fuselage as it came down.
My goodness.
The helicopter then floating to the surface upside down, divers racing into the water to search for the pilot and passengers. And again, there were no survivors. Tonight, the investigation here, how could this happen? The rotor blade coming apart. How old was that helicopter? And we have now learned that the chopper was in the sky over Manhattan for about 15 minutes before it came crashing down. Here's our chief investigative correspondent, Aaron Katersky, leading us off tonight. He's on the scene.
Tonight, 6 people killed after a helicopter with a family of tourists on board broke apart and plummeted into the Hudson River off New York City. It happened just after 3:15 this afternoon.
Be advised, you do have an aircraft down Holland Tunnel. Please keep your eyes open for anybody in the water.
The tourist chopper going down on the Hudson between Lower Manhattan and Jersey City. This video showing the chopper splashing down, the rotor blades still spinning in the air before it lands in the water. Fire rescue boats and the Coast Guard racing to the spot where it went down. The chopper fuselage upside down. The rough, choppy water just 49 degrees. Law enforcement officials tell ABC News the helicopter was carrying a family, 2 adults and 3 children, tourists from Spain, in addition to 1 pilot.
I saw the helicopter. It was just coming down in a 45 angle, and it went straight into the water. It was a big splash.
Witnesses watching in horror.
It sounded like a sonic boom on my right. So I look up and literally I just see a helicopter splitting in 2 with the rotor flying off in the sky. It was going so fast and just went straight into the water, and like nothing came up afterwards. It must have just sunk.
And I heard a loud snap, or like a kind of sound barrier breaking sound, and I could see a helicopter falling on its side and splashing the water right next to that red barge over there. And then the rotor on the top fell off as well and then hit the water.
If your rotor system disintegrates, goes away, stops, blows up, or loses a blade, your whole ability to fly is 100% compromised at that point, and you're simply going to go down. It's very seldom that we have a helicopter crash that resulted from a disintegration of the lift system. That's what this begins to sound like, and it's very rare.
FAA records show the helicopter is 21 years old. Flight radar 24 showing the chopper was in the air over Manhattan for about 15 minutes before it broke apart. It was the helicopter's 6th flight of the day.
So let's bring in Aaron Katersky. He's on the scene for us tonight. And Aaron, you reported on the family of 5 on board. These were tourists visiting the U.S. on a flight over the city. The pilot. Do authorities think they had any chance here as rescuers dove into the water late today trying to save them?
And those divers told us, David, they did everything they could. But eyewitnesses said the helicopter came down very fast. The Hudson River is frigid. Rescue boats sped toward the wreckage site, but by the time they got there, they saw the helicopter